Welcome back to Julian's Magician School, and I've got a brand new trick and I need you to help me, and I've got a list of instructions written there for you to read out. So the first instruction, please. Slow. What's the next one? Slow again. All right. Is this slow enough? What's the next one? Fast? Does it say how fast? All right, I'll do it really fast. And what's the next instruction? Slow. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how did he do that? But I really do know what you're thinking. And to prove it, I've got a mind reading test here. You can choose between a plate of fish or a girl winking. Which one's it going to be? The plate of fish? I got it! Lucky you didn't choose the girl winking. There are a whole heap of tricks that you can do with the box of matches. Now, I first saw this trick about 40 years ago because my dad used to smoke a pipe all the time. And so he liked magic and he had a whole range of tricks that he would do with matchboxes, and this is one that I remembered. But there's a couple of problems with a lot of tricks. Is how do you get them into play? And then when you're finished, if the box is gaffed and you cannot show the spectator this box, you'll see that in a minute, how do you get rid of it? So I had a little bit of a think about that and I thought, well, what could I do with this trick, which I've known for a long time? So I came up with this little idea here. It's not super clever, but it's more to give you a couple of instructional pointers. The reason I've written instructions on the front, slow, slow, fast, slow, is that it involves the audience. Because here's what happens. If you just do this trick by itself, when you do it for the audience, they're going to be burning you. They're going to be watching your every move. But as soon as you include them, all of a sudden they're part of the trick and they go, at a subconscious level, they think, oh, hang on, I can't stuff this up. So they start to think about what they're doing as well. And what it does, it takes the heat off actually what you're doing. It's a very slight psychological little ploy, but it actually works. The other thing is at the end, when you're finished, is how do you get rid of it? Now, I mean, I know in the video I just had a look that you could see this sitting on my leg, but the idea was that I just put that, under the table or out of the way. And then you need something to go directly onto so that you can take their attention away from even thinking about the box. So I just put this little optical illusion on the back that's got, looks like a fish that way and it looks like a girl winking that way. It's a little bit hard to see on the video, but you'll see it when you get it. So that's the whole idea and the thinking behind that. Alright, come in closer and I'll show you how to make this matchbox. So first up, if you go to my website, at the address here, you can get yourself one of these PDF downloads printed out. And this is exactly the same as the one I'm using here. So that's all ready to go. Oh, and these do fold up and fold flat, so they make it easy to carry. And then you're going to need to get a box of matches. You're going to need to then cut the box of matches sleeve in half like this. And then you get rid of the matches and then you glue this to that, so you end up with a false backed tray. Once you've done that, you take some of the matches and you put them in a regular pattern, and then just using a little bit of wood glue that dries clear, you put some glue in there, let it all dry, and you end up with one of these. Now this is the one that I used in the videos. There's the matches, they're glued in there, and there's the striker on the outside. And then all you need is another shell, and that's all you need, and you're right to go. So let's walk through the handling. You have your gaffed box sitting on the table, you have your shell that goes on top of it there, and then the bag goes over both of those. Now with a bit of light pressure you can hold both of those in there, so this can be off to the side where you're doing other tricks, and you can just bring this in and you're ready to go. So you ask them for the first instruction, they say slow. Now because they've said slow, you can really go slow, so don't panic about this, take your time. Just press where the top box is. So all you're doing is holding the top box, you take it off, it leaves the gaffed one on the table. Next instruction, they say slow, so slowly you put it on your fingertips, slowly you turn it over, and you're going to pretend to push the tray out of the sleeve, so a couple little pushes, and then pretend to pull it straight out the other side. Now because you're going slowly, that gives plenty of good motivation why you don't hear any noise from the matches, because you're taking it slowly, they're not moving around. And then you ask them for the next instruction, they say fast. Now you can do whatever you want. I just slap my hands together and then take a little peek and move them apart. The shell has vanished. Next instruction, they say slow. Now when you pick the bag up this time, it's better to put your hands with very, very light pressure and lift from the sides, because if you pinch in there, what can happen is it can, won't do it now, but it can hold that shell in there, which is what you don't want. So just hold it from the side, lift it up, and then as you're talking, slide the two back together, and it's just restoring what their vision of what the matchbox should look like. And you go, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how did I do that? Now you go, well hang on, I really do know what you're thinking. And as you're saying this and changing the topic, you just put this away. I mean, put it out under the table in your pocket, get rid of it. And you go, no, I do know what you're thinking, and then you go into this little mind-reading gag on the back. Now you don't have to use this, but if you want an out to take the pressure away from you doing that, well, that's there for you to use. Here's a little tip for you. If you're using a wooden table and not one with a fabric surface like this, in that first move when you take the shell and it's away and it's hidden in there, when you put this on the table and you let go with your thumb and your finger, that'll go clunk and you'll hear it go on the table. So what you do instead is when you pick it up and that's hidden in there, you drop it just when it's near the top of the table, you drop it all together, and it just sounds like the paper shell has dropped onto the table. Alright, remember, if I can do it, you can do it.